Hey, welcome back to Temple of Sunshine on YouTube and templeofsunshine.com. Today I am really smiley, but we are talking about a topic where you might be watching this video because you desperately just need some solace. And that is the topic of what to do when things are going really bad. And I actually want to give you a story of complete chaos. It's not about me, it's about my friend. I'm going to keep her completely anonymous. But regardless of what's going on in your life, your situation may be much bigger than this or smaller. But I want to talk to you about what advice I gave her, and I want you to go away and, take this advice yourself, and hopefully it will work out for you. I want this video to be something that you seek as a bit of inspiration. So I really hope this video helps you out. And if you're watching this with no sort of situation or chaos in your life, brilliant. Keep this information stowed away in your head for when you do have an issue, because even the most positive people loves do go through things that aren't always so great. It's how we react to a situation is what really makes us as a person. It's how we react that changes everything. It's how we view the whole situation and change our perspective on it is how we get out of it. But anyway, let's not waste more time. Let's get straight into the video. So just before we start, I can feel that this is going to be a long one. So I've got me a lovely cup of coffee, and I will be slapping this throughout the video unapologetically. So if you want to go and get a tea or coffee, go get one now, because this is going to be quite like a chat. It's going to be like having a little cup of coffee with me, but also I can feel it's going to be a little long, and I'm not going to try and cut things out of the story. I want you to have the full details. So go get a cup of coffee and do subscribe if you like positive content and you want it to uplift you so you can have your best 2021 ever. But anyway, let's get straight into what's happened. So recently my friend, I'm going to keep her anonymous. I have so much love and respect for this friend. She's a very successful young journalist who has her own blog and website. The blog is her website, but she has her own business. She has writers for this blog, and she's just an all-round impressive person. She's very successful for her age. I'm very inspired by her because although I went to university, she's someone that didn't. And throughout all of that, she's become a journalist at a huge media name in the United Kingdom. It is a tabloid, but she's doing very well there, and it's a great starting point for her career. And she's excelling, right? People think she is really the bee's knees in her career. So what's happened? Why she reached out to me? So for a while now, she's been looking into different opportunities where she can leave the tabloid and maybe work on other projects or other areas of media that she's sort of more interested in, or can, provide more different kinds of content. Let's just leave it at that. So she has been speaking to a woman who has sort of been telling her, look, I've got a job for you, and it's a very good friend of hers. And for those of you who know not to mix business and friendships, you're probably already being like, but she's a very level-headed woman, my friend. So she and her friend, also has the same name as her, funnily enough, have been in sort of liaison for over a year now, and this woman's been promising her a job for a long time now. So she's been really excited for this opportunity because it will help her level up in her career, and she's very excited, right? As she should be, okay? So recently she meditated and really prayed for that opportunity to come through. Then what happened was she got a call out of the blue from her friend who's been promising her a job, who told her, yeah, okay, you're going to start April 22nd or whatever, like a date in April. We're totally happy to have you on. We're really excited, blah, 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 blah. There was no physical documentation at this point. However, she did, unfortunately, take this as gospel. So let this be a lesson for us all. Always wait for the documentation. She, out of excitement, but most importantly, trust for her friend, she trusted this friend blindly, went and handed in her notice at her job. Oopsies. So then what happened was, yesterday she calls me in a complete fit of sadness, as she should, like completely emotions are normal, And she goes, you know what? The lady who I'm friends with who offered me a job, her fiance called me and told me that the job is off. And I was shook because the woman herself didn't call my friend. The woman herself didn't want a difficult conversation. So she got her fiance to do it. And her fiance essentially said they've spoken to the accountant and they don't have the money to take her on. But of course, my friend has handed in her notice. So she was in complete fits of, oh my God, what have I done? I don't have a job right now. So long story short, her company have told her that she can't retract her resignation. And I know I'm giving a lot of details, but I'm keeping this completely anonymous because this is a chaotic story and I want you to take inspiration from it. So then she found out her sort of chronically ill nan has recently felt a bit more ill, and she also had a bit of a health scare, as in my friend herself had a health scare with a very random lump. So she had to spend 8 hours at the hospital in A&E in her local hospital, pretty much the day before she called me. So this has all been building up, right? So the week was terrible. Her nan, this situation with the employer's fiance, and also, of course, the health scare. This is ultimate chaos. Like, this is crazy. And I thought I had a bad week the week before when, so last week I'm laughing because I don't know why I'm laughing. So we didn't have hot water or heating, and we live in cold United Kingdom, I just want to say, so that's a big problem. But we didn't have hot water or heating for like 3-4 days, and I thought that was the worst thing like ever. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So what did I tell my friend to do? This is the advice I gave her. First things first, at the time when someone gives you this advice and you're going through something crazy, you're like, just shut up, because this is not what you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You're going to look back at this in 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, forget 5 years, a year. And you're going to be like, thank God this terrible situation happened to me. Thank God I somehow made myself in a situation with no job, like in my friend's situation, or whatever's going on with you. Thank God that terrible thing that happened to me. Now look, her story is very extreme. A lot of you might be watching this with sort of smaller problems, and I'm very glad that your problems are smaller. Trust me, her phone call made me so grateful that, you know, I'm really, really grateful that things that I consider a problem are so much smaller. So what did I tell her? So I said, when you look back at this, you're going to be very thankful for this situation. In hindsight, we really don't realize when chaos happens in our life that it's for the ultimate highest good. And the reason why I told her that is because she hasn't done anything wrong, right? I really believe in karma and comeuppance. So when certain people like go through something negative, often it is a lesson for maybe how they've treated other people or what they've done in the past. But for my friend here, I think this is the push for her to finally maybe put all her energy into her business, maybe go freelance and have the freedom she's always wanted, maybe have more suitable work hours, because this job that she works at now with the big tabloid, she has some crazy work hours, and she has a new dog, so she is spending a lot of time with this dog because it's a rescue dog who has a lot of sort of problems. So maybe this is the kick up the butt that she needs to go completely freelance and make herself the big success that she always imagines. I don't know, but one thing I know is that me and her will both look back in a year and be like, thank goodness that this happened. The reason why I have so much faith for this is that I can think back to so many terrible things that have happened in the past. Really, really bad things. Like, I'm going to get really personal here, but my mom was really sick 2 years ago, like really sick. And I'm not going to explain what the great lesson that came out of that was, but even in that horrendous situation where I thought I was going to lose my mom, something amazing came out of that for our family. Like, it's given us a lot more stability and sorted a lot in our life, where my mum wouldn't have learnt that lesson had she not got sick. So some really terrible things, guys, can happen to teach you a lesson. In the past, I've had a lot of situations growing up where really bad things have happened, but I've learned either a really good lesson, B, it's made me better at something, or C, it's removed me from something that was going to harm me even more. So for example, you might get stuck in a huge amount of traffic on the way to work, but and you reroute, but it's saving you from maybe a potential accident that was going to happen down the road with some crazy driver on the road. What I'm trying to tell you, that the universe shows us a reroute. The sat nav, that is the universe, takes us a different way to often stop us from being in a totally worse situation. I've actually got a mini story to share with you. So I really wanted a pay rise at the beginning of last year. I was really pushing for it, and I was really attached to the outcome and stressed out. And it didn't happen because it got stopped due to coronavirus. So it got approved on paper, but it got stopped by a big company overhaul due to coronavirus. Like, nobody was getting a pay rise. And obviously I was a bit bummed out, but I thought, okay, I trust the universe. When it happens, it happens. And I was really proud of my very mature response. And then literally a month or two later, they announced that everybody was getting a 20% pay cut, which was temporary, right? Above a certain threshold. And the threshold was literally on the threshold where I was trying to get just above. Okay, so does that make sense? So I did some calculations, and I found out that had I got onto my new salary that I was supposed to be on, if I minus 20% every month, I would be on less money than my previous salary. So the universe literally rerouted me, right? So that I didn't have to go through that obstacle that was in my way that I would actually be negatively affected by. So I'm really grateful. I'm actually really grateful for that. And actually, I did get that pay rise in the end when it was the right time. So I'm really grateful for that divine timing, that divine intervention. So what I think is going on with my friend, and what I told her, was most likely this is a divine intervention. By accident, you have got yourself out of a job because you acted too soon and handed in your resignation. But you will definitely get a job. I know she's going to get a job because, look, she's a journalist. Like, that's something that's needed in the pandemic. She's got a really good track record, a great CV. I don't worry about her at all. But what I told her is, do an activity. And this activity I'm really excited to share with you. So this activity I've actually learned, I guess it was something that I inspired myself to do after reading The Secret. But after reading The Magic, I refined the activity even more. So I do this with sort of relationships I want to improve with people. But recently I did do it when our hot water and heating was gone. And the reason why I got very stressed out about that was, okay, yeah, we're cold. That's not the biggest issue. It was the chaos it was causing with the back and forth with insurance, getting in arguments. It was very low vibrational, and it was really plunging me and bringing me down. Like, it really affected my mental health, because just dealing with the insurance and the very unfriendly and unhelpful people and the atmosphere of the house, the tension between me and my mum, was getting a bit much. So I sat down and I did this activity where I listed 10 things, and 10 is a lot. Trust me, you're going to have to get creative. I listed 10 things I was thankful for in the situation. And like I said, I've done this in the past with relationships I want to improve. So what I do is I write down 10 things that I appreciate about that person. Doesn't matter how much I despise them. Like, literally, I will do it against my own accord. Now you're going to be like, I can't think of 10 things that I'm thankful for in this really terrible situation. Don't joke with me right now. My friend ended up doing it. She's in a very chaotic situation, and she went and did those 10 things. And I told her some of them are going to be really stupid, so I'm going to reveal some of mine. So when the heating and hot water, when I did it for that instance, I said, I'm really thankful for this situation because we're saving money on bills, like stupid stuff. And I was like, I'm really thankful for this situation because I've learned how to deal with crafty people that work in home insurance. I'm really thankful for this situation because it's bringing me and my mum closer because we have a common goal and we're working towards it together. And sometimes me and my mum argue over things like this, but it was bringing us closer. Even when we argued, we were getting closer because we had one common goal. We were working as a team. And I said I was really thankful for having no hot water or heating because we were getting creative with warming up the house. Like, I came up with so many silly things and it made me laugh, and I needed that sort of lightheartedness in the moment when I was feeling really down. And my friend too told me that she really enjoyed the activity, and I'm going to assume it raised her vibrations a little. Things are still quite raw right now, but I'm going to ask her for a review of this technique in the future. But she did put it on her story that she was very happy with this situation after putting like the 10 gratitudes down. So in any negative situation, I want you to go ahead and write 10 things you're thankful for in the situation. I know it's difficult. I know you don't want to do it because It's like, who wants to list things that they're happy about when they're feeling terrible? I want you to get out of that rut. I want you to force yourself out of it. I know there's a whole culture of really sitting in your feelings and honoring your negative emotions, and I do believe that's important. I don't want you to think that it's not, but I am very much someone that believes in the Abraham Hicks, Rhonda Byrne sort of teachings of not spending very long in negative vibrational thought. I do not believe in staying in negative vibrational thought for very long. When there is crisis, I always push and push and push myself into a better feeling thought. Wayne Dwyer has a really good tip. When you're feeling down about anything or when something is bad, you always say to yourself, I intend to feel good. You say a little like request to the universe and you say, I intend to feel good. You keep saying that. For me, that works, but the best thing that works for me is I trust my higher self. Everything is working out best case scenario. I trust my higher self. Everything is working out best case scenario. So this is how I got out of the situation with the heating and hot water. It was looking like that we were going to stay in like 5, 6, 7 days in the cold because the home insurance were being so unhelpful. After I did this scenario of, after I did this activity of listing 10 things I'm grateful for, I started to laugh. I started to get a bit more lighthearted and carefree. I started to just feel lighter about the situation. Then I started to just say, dear God, universe, whatever, this problem is no longer mine. I release it to you. And I said, I'm literally letting go of this problem and I'm putting it in your hands. And I said, I trust the universe. I trust my higher self. Everything's going to be okay. And I just put that out there. And I said to God or the universe, and I said, I don't care when you sort it out. I don't care how you sort it out. I don't care what happens, but I trust you. Do you want to know when it got sorted out? In less than 24 hours from that point. And this was 3 days in total, where it was projected to be about 6 to 7. I just want to let you know that things can sort themselves out like this. When you change the perspective of what you're looking at, if you change how you're looking at it, it completely changes the situation. When you can find a positive in the midst of chaos and negativity, you literally prove to the universe how much you trust it and how powerful you are. So whatever you're going through right now, whether your situation is smaller than my friends or bigger, go out there and really force yourself to find something to be grateful for. You know, I was telling my friend, and this is really dumb, I love the Lego movie. I really love it. And there is that really annoying song of everything is awesome, like, you know, that one. And one day I kind of listened to like the lyrics. I don't know why. I was called to do this years ago. And I read the lyrics and it literally was like, I've stepped in mud and now I've got new brown shoes. And another lyric was, I've just lost my job, but now I have more time for my awesome community. And I realized in this song, regardless of how silly it is, this is living in pure gratitude. This is living in trust of the universe. If you can be like, I've just stepped in mud, this is great. I found something positive about it. Or the fact that you've just lost your job and you found a positive in that, that is a mindset of a perpetually happy person. That is a mindset of an enlightened person who is connected to their higher self, who is connected to the universe and trusts that everything's going to be okay. Go and look up the lyrics of that song. You don't have to listen to it. I know how annoying it is. But go and look at the lyrics of that song and you'll see literally every situation is turned into a really stupid positive, because obviously it's a Lego movie, it's a kid's film, and it has really silly humour. But they literally managed to find a positive in every negative, and I love that attitude. I'm going to bore you with one more silly thing on this topic. I love SpongeBob. I grew up watching SpongeBob, and my mum used to find him so annoying because I used to put, like, when I was a kid, I used to put SpongeBob like on like literally full volume in the house, and his annoying laugh would like wake my mum up. And I was joking to my mum the other day that SpongeBob is like the poster boy for The Secret, like Rhonda Byrne or Abraham Hicks. Like, SpongeBob is never in a state of negativity. SpongeBob sees everything as a positive. Like, his neighbour Squidward literally hates him, despises him, And his friend is a starfish that literally like doesn't understand what's going on 90% of the time. He earns $1 a day at his job as a fry cook. Like, this isn't even minimum wage. This is just insulting. His job's really tough sometimes, and he has a really terrible boss in terms of employee rights. Does this sponge seem like he's unhappy? No, he is the happiest, obviously fictional character in the whole world. He literally takes every situation and makes it into an amazing one. Like, he's always so happy and blessed to just be here and just live his life. And I know we can't always be like that, but we can take a leaf out of the Lego Movie and SpongeBob in situations where life's really tough, but I've found a reason to be happy today. And that's all that you need out there to keep you going. Well done for getting this far on your spiritual journey. If you've made it to the end of this video, you're clearly someone who is committed to having a better life. So I'm really proud of you for all the work you've been doing on yourself, all the work you've been doing on manifesting, but taking care of yourself and getting better at self-development. I'm really proud of you, and I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come. I looked at the situation of this hot water heating thing and I realized how stressed I would have been 2 years ago. I would have been totally so stressed. And I don't, you know what it is? It's not the hot water and heating, it's more the chaos that it brings into your life. I would have crawled into bed and not come out. What was I doing the 3 days where we didn't have hot water heating? I was going on walks. I was filming videos. I was doing yoga. I was having a great time. Yes, I was stressed, but I didn't allow it to affect my mood. And I want you to learn from my own journey. But anyway, if you've liked this video, please do like and subscribe. Please send this on to maybe someone who needs it right now in their life. And as always, see you next time.